just lying around shit!
Well, what the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
War's over, man. Wormer dropped the big one.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until... Was it over?
Welcome to DMac SMaK for October 17th, 2025, where the Broncos will beat the Giants 20-16. I don't feel great about it, but good enough. And on a day where, and I got to get this right, 45 teammates from Super Bowl 50 and 175 total alumni are returning. That is a massive number to honor DT and the 10-year anniversary of Super Bowl 50, which feels like it was yesterday. Does it to you? To me, it does. The Broncos will squeak one out. I would love it if they could beat down a Delta House by more. In fact, Jonathan Cooper, who was ripping on Dart, which was pretty funny, there was a response from Jackson Dart to Jonathan Cooper and his comments.
Young guy, he's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something. So,
To the New York Post, I think a lot of guys wear chains and dance when they score touchdowns. I appreciate him following my dance touchdowns. We're brought to you by Journey Spice. And we'll get to the Nuggets, the Avs, another win, a really creative thing that Deion Sanders is doing. Old man Flacco gets over on old weasel turd Rodgers, and your moment of Zen is the Pat Surtain podcast. I mean, all of that is still to come. But remember, Journey Spice for the win. All you have to do is click on this QR code, and it'll take you to Journey Spice Heaven. Use the code GETSPICY at Amazon.com and save yourself 10%. I love Journey Spice. You will too. Put it on every single darn meal, and it tastes darn delicious. It's Journey Spice for the W. All right, let's more on Journey Spice in just a minute, but we will get to the Broncos and why they will win. Well, at the end of the day, it's just about the defense, and the defense is superior. And at the end of the day, I'm not feeling great about the offense. So what inevitably has to turn at some point is takeaways. The Broncos, with only 3 fumble recoveries and 1 interception, are actually -3 in giveaway takeaways. So are the Giants. I can't even believe it. Leading the league in defense and pressures and sacks and just everything is kind of wild and outrageous. Sean Payton, what is the deal with the takeaway?
Takeaways are number one always. And then obviously sacks can lead to punts, which essentially is a field position turnover, but turnovers are first.
Now, if you watch the Giants with Jackson Dart and his chains and his dancing and all that, and boy, we love the touchdown celebrations of Jackson Dart. We like Cam Scattaboo. I don't know if a lot of us are really digging Jackson Dart, but like everybody likes Scattaboo because he's Blutarski 0.0. I mean, everybody liked him. Not everybody liked the president of the frat house. Anyways, against the Saints, once they felt some pressure, 5 turnovers, it cost them the game. They still only lost by 12. Against the Eagles, they more or less had the lead from the jump and had things under control and didn't turn the ball over. So what team will the Giants be against the Broncos? Well, I side more towards maybe not 5 turnovers, but how about 2? And 2 turnovers may be the difference between a win and a loss. And I hope to God, and we'll get to special teams here in a second, the Broncos don't do anything stupid with Gunnar Oswowski. The guy's name is Gunnar. He takes back all their kicks and punts. And he's one of these dudes that's, I don't know, man. He's a run through a brick wall sort of guy. Let's not allow those opportunities. We'll get to Rizzy in a second. But here's VJ on takeaways.
I think, we've been in some tight games, in the last couple of weeks. And I think, having a lead and being able to rush the passer and mix coverages, mix zones, it'll happen. We're searching the ball. We're mixing coverages. We're, rushing the quarterback the right way. We're attacking the elbow. It hadn't happened. I thought we had one Sunday that was taken away from us, but they come in bunches, and right now, winning third downs, winning red zone, keeping the points to a minimum, that's our main goal. I think the ball will turn, and hopefully it turns quickly.
Okay, well, I'm with you. Although I don't expect some sort of avalanche of turnovers, a couple would be nice. And a couple will do the trick. Listen, I wish I could have better news and just be like, they're going to kill the Giants and all that, and it's going to be an amazing celebration. And it is going to be an amazing celebration. They're going to beat the Giants, but kill them. I got it 20-16. What could I tell you? And if it's more than that, then that would be great. But a win is a beautiful thing, and we'll take it. Meanwhile, VJ, hopeful about Greenlaw and measured with how they may use Dre Greenlaw.
I think, if he returns this week, it's got to be in a part-time role maybe. We'll see. We're not sure that's going to happen this weekend or next. But, he's in good spirits. He's worked hard. He's in the right mindset. So we'll see, how Sunday plays out. But, once he gets out there, we'll feel him. Everyone will.
It's great to get him back, and we're excited for it. So there you go. Listen, the only thing that could sort of screw this up is if an inept offense is combined with a terrible special teams unit. I think pass rush, once you have it, is an easy thing to replicate. It's something you can really count on. So I'm not really all that nervous about it. I do think Jackson Dart can run around a little bit. Ain't no doubt about that. And I think he's got a strong arm, but like a lot of young quarterbacks, especially brash, young, cocky ones, they like to take chances and they don't know what they don't know yet. I'm not really afraid of Cam Scatterbo, but I'll tell you this. You see that their red zone offense is one of the worst in the league. It's a lot better with Cam Scatterbo. But he averages 4.1 yards a carry. It's just that they're giving him the ball all the time. So the yards are accumulating, but not in like some sort of dramatic pace. So you just got to stay out of, and they have no receivers. I mean, they're desperate. Their best receiver right now is little Jordan Humphrey and Glendale Robinson. Their best receiver, probably their best threat, is probably Theo Johnson, a huge tight end out of Penn State, who is a bit of a weapon. But what you don't want is to be beat on special teams. And it's a little annoying, to say the least, about that being a big issue. Here's Darren Rizzi, special teams coordinator, making excuses.
Watch the play. There's some missed tackles. And that's really what we're finding out in this scheme is, man, one guy out of place, one guy misfit, one guy missed tackle, and there's these big plays. So, going back and looking at it, I think one interesting thing we got to keep in mind is you look at last year, right, the first year, the dynamic kickoff. Last year, the Broncos were more of a touchback team. We covered less than 20 kicks here last year. We've already covered more kicks in 6 games this year than we covered the entire season last year. Marvin Mims already has more kick returns this year than because everybody was kicking touchbacks. So, for a lot of these guys, it's the first time playing the play, if you will. And so, there's going to be some growing pains there. But listen, the bottom line is.
Okay, well, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I would just kick it through the end zone at this point. If you can't consistently stop it, if you're giving up huge returns on the kickoff, all right, whatever. I mean, it's obviously a huge advantage to be able to stop the runner, say, before the 25-yard line, obviously, but 1 out of every 5 is going to go for like 40 yards or more. All right, hey, let's nail the drunk guy in the south stands, and let's just move on with our best defense in the league. Meanwhile, JT Gray was acquired, and he's the answer on coverage, JT Gray.
It's the number one thing that we need to improve on right now, I would say, is kick coverage, punt coverage. JT Gray, in the 30-plus years I've been coaching, is the best coverage player that I've coached. Last year he was a second-team All-Pro. He's been 3 times All-Pro in the last 5 years, Pro Bowler. He brings an added dimension to the coverage aspect of it. He's a really good, well-rounded player, but the coverage is what he does best. And so, we had the ability to go out and get him, and obviously he has some familiarity with our scheme, our system, obviously with Sean and myself, and so it just seemed like a natural fit.
All right, cool. I guess that's the answer. Phew, set. I'll tell you what, man, to me, and I've said it for years, special teams ain't that hard to coach in the NFL. It's pretty basic, and to not be able to get it right week after week is damn frustrating. We'll hear from Jared Bednar, Scott Wedgwood, Deion Sanders, and Pat Surtain's very interesting podcast, as well as Jonas Valanciunas, all still to come.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
We absolutely love you, Journey Spice. Journey Spice for the win. Use the code GETSPICY at Amazon.com. And in Rosa, what have you done? You've created this incredible company. It's always by my side. I love you, Journey Spice. Seriously, try it out this weekend. You will not regret it. Avalanche last night, rolling 4-0-1, 4-1 winners over Columbus. The second line, Val had 2 goals. Brock Nelson had a goal. Gabriel Landeskog had an assist. All right, here we go. It was just a little annoying that the second line hadn't got going. Well, they had a nice night. And Scott Wedgwood, again, superior net. Mackenzie Blackwood is in a rehab stint up there in with the Eagles, and he'll be close to returning, but I don't know, what's the rush?
That was kind of what you wanted to look like almost from start to finish.
I like their game. Best part of it definitely the second period, but disciplined. It was hard working. We played with a good conscience again on the defensive side of things. I thought we closed pretty quickly, had some good sticks, took care of the net front pretty well. They can be a dangerous offensive team, both off the rush and in ozone play, putting a lot of pucks there. But we did a nice job protecting that area for the most part. It's pretty good effort from our guys tonight.
Yeah, great effort. They're back in town. They'll play tomorrow against the Boston Bruins. Usually we get the Bruins a little bit later in the year for all the chowderheads, but it's early. So we'll have all sorts of reports and coverage about that game tomorrow right here on Altitude and on the digital as well. Between the Pipes, if you want to catch up with Spring and Raj, go for it. It's just sitting right there for you. Your voice of the Avalanche, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Meanwhile, Scott Wedgwood knocked around a little bit, but none the worse for wear.
Holding our breath there for a second. It looked like you took a puck up higher. Everything okay? Were you shocked when it happened?
Yeah, the unfortunate spot when you kind of close the seal, you just create a little pocket in the neck there. And oddly enough, Landy got me in warm-ups in Buffalo. And then I feel like that collarbone's made out of steel now with how many impacts it's taken on that side. So I gave out a little Hulk grunt, and you keep on playing. But boy, do those hurt when they miss everything. And I'm sure I'll have a nice little shiner on the plane, an ice bag to get it down and ready to go again.
Well, if Landy did.
Youth goalies actually have a little shield that comes from the mask and hangs down, and the NHL guys don't do that. The NHL and in lower levels of hockey besides the NHL, you have a full mask, and you just have that visor thing in the NHL. It's a weird thing that in the NHL there's less protection than in lower levels of hockey, but you got to look cool if you're in the NHL. Meanwhile, Wedgwood is fitting in just perfectly.
Yeah, hard to put, the emphasis on one thing, but, since I got here, I think, the hot start in Buffalo, coming in, kind of making an impact and just playing hard. I think the guys understand I'm going to give them everything I have every night, and feel like we all play for each other. And, they've got my back out there. There's a couple of blocks throughout the year that, I owe some guys some steak dinners, and hopefully I return the favor on a couple times when they need me. So that, living situation, my kid's getting older. We got another one on the way. It's just been I don't know. I think life's in a really good spot. I'm not really too worried about anything ahead of me, behind me. It's all kind of come to a full circle, and bounced around for a while, and then got a home there in Dallas, bounced from Nashville here, and found another one. So it's just been kind of that clearness of just living in every day and coming to the rink, being in the NHL. There's nothing better, and it's a fun place to play. I've embraced it. I feel like the fans have embraced me, and that's all you need is a goaltender to gain some confidence and go out and play for a good hockey team.
I see Brian.
By the way, how he is right there is how he's been around, and I've been around him a bunch. Every single time he's like that. Georgiev was a weirdo, man. I don't know how else to put it. It was just odd. It was just an odd duck. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of nice just to have a goalie who's like a normal dude. I mean, I've been around some odd duck goalies before. Dominic Hasek certainly was an odd duck, although I have a lot of respect for him. So it's not that goalie is kind of meant to be perhaps an odd duck position, but as long as you stop the puck, I guess it doesn't matter. But it's nice that you can stop the puck and you can be one of the guys. And Wedgwood is clearly one of those guys. So I love it. And Blackwood's great too. Blackwood's a great guy too. It's such a different situation than last year. And what a tremendous start. So hopefully they keep it rolling against the Bruins on Saturday. Meanwhile, when it comes to basketball, your Nuggets are in Oklahoma City. I'm not sure who they're going to play. This is the final preseason game tonight, and we get going with the real stuff. There was an announcement yesterday, similar to the Celtics playing the media. It will happen with the Nuggets, which is crazy. It is wild that that's going to happen, and I did ask David Adelman about it the other day, and it's going to happen. Now, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to, but it's happening right in the middle of our radio show. So we'll figure out today if we can actually broadcast from the Nuggets assistant coaches against the media. But from what I've been told, there's a lot of media that are interested. So it's not just altitude. And trust me, we could bring a lineup with altitude that would be interesting for sure. 6'10" Scott Hastings, 6'8" Tyler Columbus, 6'2" and muscle-bound Chris Dempsey, Brett Kane at 6'3", Vic Lombardi, little gym rat, running around there. Katie Wedgie, who is a stud hoopster. I mean, and then every time I would touch the ball, I would just throw it in the air. Like I just don't care. I mean, just with altitude alone, it would be interesting. We may only lose by 40. But, DNVR's got Adam Morris. He's got to be 6'5", something like that. I mean, when I was looking at the Celtics media, it was just a bunch of pasty wimps. So me thinks that the Denver media would fare a little better, but there's a wide variety of ex-NBA players on the assistant coaching staff. That is next Tuesday. And we'll see. We'll see what we want to do with it, but it will exist in the world. And you can thank your boy here for at least bringing it up. Whether it was planned or not, I don't know, but I brought it up before anybody else, so I'll take credit. You're welcome. In terms of what the Nuggets are up to, the rotation for players and what's going on with Joker and Valanciunas.
Pretty regular for Joker to play the entire first quarter.
Yeah.
Last two more of the dress rehearsal kind of games felt like you were getting him out around the 3-minute mark. I guess how do you see that benefiting the team as a whole, or kind of what went into that kind of tweak?
I think it'll be a nightly thing. It'll change. It's depends on how another team rotates. I think there's going to be games where he still plays all 12. There'll be nights where we feel like we like a lineup, a specific lineup, whether that's the big lineup, play small with Cam at the 4. And if that lineup we feel like is best for us early in the second quarter, I'll get him out. So I think it'll be night to night. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure we were one of the best first quarter teams in the league last year. So the whole 12-minute thing kind of worked out. So we have to be careful not to tweak something just to tweak it, just because somebody in the media says during the playoffs he shouldn't have played the first 12 minutes. It's like, well, he's one of the best first 12-minute guys that ever played the game. So we got to be careful with how much we tweak it, but I do think to use the roster, all the way through, there's going to be nights you take him out to get him back in earlier in the second quarter to make sure that lineup, works properly.
I think what Adelman's been very clear about is that it is going to be an experimenting type of season in the very beginning, just because there's a lot of depth and talent, but you just got to see what these combinations are. So who really knows? Meanwhile, Jonas Valanciunas reflected about his time with Joker and his beard. This is from Vic Lombardi.
Been great. I mean, as long as we producing, as long as our offense or defense works, that's great. It's been still preseason. We still, it's a fresh lineup like this, so we still got to work on it. But we're working every day, so we'll get that going.
Jonas, what is the secret to keeping your beard so properly trimmed?
It's not properly trimmed.
I mean, it doesn't move. You play a physical game and it just sits there perfectly trimmed
It's
every
dry
game.
here. It's dry, so it stays like.
Vic getting the important questions in. All right, so Nuggets play Oklahoma City tonight. There's a media versus Nuggets coaches on Tuesday. We may not broadcast from there. Who knows? Got to figure that out today. So all sorts of fun stuff. But could be hearing the premiere of the David Adelman show next week, and we look forward to that too. All right, moving on. Something really unique, and I'll give Prime some credit for it. I don't know if any coach in the world would do what he's doing and did yesterday. And apparently on a bye week, they had a scrimmage with the kids that don't play, because he thinks, well, if you're going to get in the portal anyway and you're not really playing, I'm going to help give you some film. Now, let me tell you something. I've got some personal experience with this with my son, where playing time was kind of ridiculous. I think he was well deserving of more of it. I'm his dad, but, and when it was time for him to move on, and he was moving on baseball-wise from a junior college, it was frustrating. Like, just finding clips, and, when he was out there, he performed great, but it was difficult. And never mind when my son was at UNC, and it's ridiculous what they do at the D1 level. I mean, they roster 1 million kids, and it's shocking how few kids actually get to play. And how are you supposed to attract the attention of college coaches if you don't have any film? So I think what Prime is doing here is wonderful. And here we go as he explains what's going on yesterday at their scrimmage.
Next year, some of you are going to jump in the portal. This is an opportunity for you to get some portal film. Okay? So I'm the kind of coach that's going to make sure we cut it, hype it up, give it to you however you want it, and make sure you're looking good in your portal tape. So this is, some of you guys don't get to play, they're planning on jumping. You already have made up in your mind you're jumping, so I'm just trying to help you jump. Okay?
That is super cool. Good for Prime. Glad they had that moment, and I think that's a cool deal. I do think it's ridiculous how many kids colleges are allowed to roster. I just think it's dumb. It's way more than pro teams. I think there should be a limit, but what am I supposed to do on that? Can't do nothing about that. So because I think the coaches should be more committed to their word about if they want you or not when they come and get you. It's a college sports, man. It's a freaking it's a weird system. I don't know how else to put it, but hey, man, Prime's not breaking any rules. In fact, just the opposite. He's doing something he doesn't have to do that's pretty damn cool. So again, kudos to Prime and kudos to CU. I think that's cool. Everybody was fascinated, and we'll get to our moment of Zen. Patrick Surtain talking to Ocho about sex. That comes up in a second. But that football game last night was just unbelievable. And if I'm Joe Flacco, whose numbers were off the charts, Joe Flacco last night, 31 of 47 for 342, sacked a couple times, but no big deal. 3 touchdowns with no interceptions, and a 33-31 basically walk-off win. as T. Higgins wanted to screw over my fantasy team by not scoring a touchdown and just sliding down around the 5-6 yard line. Easy chip shot, field goal for McPherson. Meanwhile, Weasel turd Aaron Rodgers had the longest in the air pass in the NFL this year at 69.8 yards. So he did get the ball in the end zone from like forever away on a Hail Mary. He was 23 of 34, 249, 4 touchdowns, but 2 picks more or less did them in. I mean, it was the Metamucil Bowl, the Icy Hot Bowl, it was crazy. It was great. It was an unbelievably exciting game. You got these two old farts. Rodgers is actually older than Flacco. Rodgers is 41 and Flacco is 40. But it was Joe that came out victorious, barely being with the Bengals. And Mike Tomlin was all pissed off that he was even on the team. And I guess I kind of get it now. But who would have seen that the Bengals were going to beat the 4-1 Steelers with a quarterback who had barely been there? This is really sometimes what sports is all about. These moments that you just can't believe. Joe Flacco postgame.
Talking about the balls to the sidelines, Jamar, his performance. You called your own number. You're the only one. Can you walk us through the play where somehow you did a little zone read, pulled it, ran for 10 in the first down?
So listen, there was a handful of plays today that I was like, what is he saying? We have these formations that end in F, and I was not getting it. That one, I read off my wristband. It was correct. Jamar lined up on the ball. Noah lined up off. Jamar was supposed to be off the ball. He was supposed to counter motion and bluff that end. Yeah. And when he was on the ball and the play clock was running down, I was like, screw it. I was just going to hand it off, but he came off the edge, so to him quick. I was like, all right. I haven't done this since my probably first or second year, but I'll do it now.
I was in tears when you took so good.
It felt good. It felt good. I can't lie.
Jamar,
I mean, that is pretty awesome, man. That is just flat out awesome. So congrats. And the Bengals at 3-4. I don't know. You hang around 500, Joe Burrow gets back. You got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I mean, they were terrible with Jake Browning, and I'm glad the Broncos got to play him then. What a game. What a moment. We'll talk more about it noon to 3 with Columbus Hastings and DMac. I'm DMac. Time for your moment of Zen. Terry and Arnold and Pat Surtain, a couple of cornerbacks. Closed on Sundays is the name of the podcast. It's pretty good so far. It's a personality from Surtain that we really don't see on the podium. So that's cool. This interview with Ocho Cinco, you learn something new every day. Here's your moment of Zen of how Ocho Cinco used to stay sharp in the NFL.
Got hurt because you used to take your teammates' urine and pour it in a bucket and soak your...
You say you used to take a Viagra before the game?
Oh yeah, half a bottle. Just a little bit.
You really did?
Yeah, and get the blood flow going.
Okay.
The NFL don't test for that. When the blood flow is going, right?
But for the wrong reasons, though.
No. You take the whole...
Boy, you out there with your hormones going crazy, man.
No, listen to me.
You around straight dudes, dog.
He was eager to route something up, boy.
Listen. The increased blood flow, it causes more explosion.
Hey, Chad, you out there, you like this?
Nah, see, y'all don't understand. I ate McDonald's, and I took Viagra, and I drank Red Bull, and I didn't have sex for 12 months. It was a method behind my madness.
I hope everybody has a great day. Take Viagra, drink Red Bull, don't have sex for 12 months. Well, I'm 1 for 3.
snap out of it.